everybody. Hi, it's me again. I'm going to do two things. I'm going to make some noise with my face, and then I'm going to leave. And I can guarantee you will enjoy at least one of those two things. So I declare this to be a celebration of life. This is something I say at the beginning of every show that I do. Sorry if that wasn't part of your evening's plans, but this is now a celebration of life, whether you like it or not. This brief, quivering miracle of existence. I'd like to remind everybody that we're clinging to an encrusted lump of magma that is spiraling through deep space for no apparent reason. In honour of that, I'd like you all to put your hands in the air like this, give them a little wiggle around, and just to feel, in the context of a loneliness epidemic, how it feels to be in a room full of people in a cellar like some weird cult. Arms around you. It's fun. And just repeat after, take a big breath in, and a big breath out, and repeat after me. This is a happy moment! This is a happy moment! I am happy to be here! I am happy to be here! We are one big! We are one big! Amorphous blob of humanity! Amorphous blob of humanity! We are a cellar in a, we are a cult in a cellar. We are a cellar in a, we are a cellar in a cult. We are a cellar in a cult. I am a body, hands up. I am a body in a body. I am a body in a body. I am a body in a body, a body's body. I am a body in a body, a body's body. I am a body in a body, a body's body. I am a body in a body, a body's body. Can you start working some of your magic? Every poet deserves. This is a dream for a poet to have, to be able to talk with the harpist. You know that this is one of the oldest instruments known to humanity. The harp predates written language, and it predates settled agriculture. There's paleontological records of humans using harps, very, very ancient. So poetry has been dancing in the strings of what Samuel Taylor Coleridge's from the West Country once called the soft witchery of sound that sinks and swells in faint caresses. And this is a tool of hypnotism. It's a soundscape and a meditative landscape in which poetry can exist. For me, I've always considered what Emmy to do. Emmy does is creating a river, and I throw my words into that river. Pretty much whatever I throw into the river will sound more sexy than it actually is with a harp accompaniment. So representing deep time, no pressure, Emmy, and representing the transit-tangled, spangled glisten of the unsleeping tide of chi. Ladies and gentlemen and all in between, please show your love for Emmy the Harp. We're going to start off with a poem called Mind Manifesting. Then I climb from the shadow lands of my psyche. Oh, the grotesquely exalted potential. Dreams elasticating love and learning. Dreams of freedom to debase and to destroy. Mind manifesting, mind manifesting, mind manifesting. We'll do this all together. Mind manifesting, mind manifesting, mind manifesting. From the single cell amoeba that makes itself up with hundreds of millions of atoms, to the city that makes itself up with concrete, cement and dancing humans. The psyche reveals itself to itself. The psyche is mind manifesting itself. Museums, architecture, cuisine, crime, the churning sensorium of dancing matter. Mind manifesting, mind manifesting, mind manifesting, mind. Beautiful, a little louder. Mind manifesting, mind We are the dancing, dancing dance. We are the dancing, dancing dance. Feel your heart bounce through your brain. See your thoughts bounce through your veins. Watch commuters stream down escalators. Watch cities rise like forests. The world imagining itself anew. The world imagining itself anew. My manifesting, my manifesting, my manifesting, my. My manifesting, my manifesting, my manifesting, my. We are the dancing thoughts, 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 thoughts. We are the dancing, dancing thoughts, thoughts. We are the dancing, dancing thoughts, thoughts. We are the dancing, dancing thoughts. Should we have a harp solo, guys? I think this is the cosmos unfolding itself, playing with itself, unraveling itself, and seeking to be more beautiful than it was for the sake of play in the form of Emmy the Harp. You don't need to be a frog licking tie-dye to have a psychotropic experience. Go to Lidl, stare at a leaf, watch time-lapse footage of sprouting beans, slime mold, psychedelic, space bears, psychedelic, Tinky fucking Winky, psychedelic, my manifesting, this is finger psychedelic, space bears, psychedelic. Slime mold! Psychedelic! Tinky Winky! Psychedelic! My manifesting mind! Ludwig van! Psychedelic! Certain species of glass! Psychedelic! The sphincter of a sparrow! Psychedelic! My manifesting mind! A burning log! Psychedelic! What was the next one? Milton Keynes! Genital warts! Psychedelic! My manifesting mind, my finger! Psychedelic! My heart! Psychedelic! My poetry! Psychedelic! My thoughts! Psychedelic! My manifesting, my manifesting, my manifesting mind. My manifesting, my manifesting, my manifesting mind. We are the dancing thoughts of God. Gods of dancing thoughts. We are the dancing thoughts of God. God. And the gods of dancing thoughts. Yes. I'm really enjoying the lovely last gig of our tour. We're going to be doing this in this really random place with beautiful works of art and crafting of beautiful moments. This is what it's all about. Like, this is why we do performing arts. Right? It's harvesting the attentional resources and doing something with that and creating beauty. And for us, it's a great pleasure to be crafting this. I want to give a trigger warning, and that is that I use the word God sometimes. And I know for some people, for most of my life actually, the word God was actually I was kind of a bit allergic to that word. If you're allergic to the word God, fair enough. The invitation for this show is to populate that metaphor with whatever you want, basically. whether that's the world, the biosphere, Gaia, the cosmos, or the universe. Sometimes I call it the great, sprawling, unsayable. Sometimes I call it the ever-receding horizon of wonder. Or any number of really wanky phrases like that.
I think you're making it up on the spot.
I might not spend months thinking about it. And God really is, when you're talking about something, when you're talking about existence, something as unfathomably complex and interconnected as existence, you can only really use metaphors. And there's a great poetic tradition of remaking the metaphor of God and trying to re-articulate what that is. So this is an act of poetry, that word. Somebody once described God as a one-word poem. And this is an act of poetry. Poetry in the service of beauty, beauty in the service of reverence, reverence in the service of worship. And at this point, some of you might be thinking, now we're talking about worship. I came here to be entertained, now we've been taken to church. Well, namaste with me, people. Namaste with me. Worship is a beautiful word that comes from the word worthship. Worthship, the attributing of worth to that which is sacred. And how do we make something sacred? Well, sacred isn't an objective quality of any one thing. Sacred is a relationship, of course. We make things sacred by attributing sacredness to it, right? So we make things sacred by giving it our praise. Praise is another beautiful word related to prize, price, and prayer. And in the context of a biospheric collapse, we all know the price we pay, but we do not prize that which is worthy of praise. So you see where I'm going with this, right? You see where I'm going. I'm reclaiming the language of reverence. I'm reclaiming religious language to revere not just this quivering miracle of this fragile planet, but also to participate in the immeasurable and the wondrous which connects us to the infinite. So it is in the name of this beauty and this poetry and this worth, and in praise of this sacred planet, enswirled with green verse, that I offer my words to you. This next poem is an existential poem on existence and the nature of it. It's called The Nature of Being, and it draws on Eastern wisdom traditions, and it goes like this. If a man in a forest makes quotation marks with his fingers, and there's no one there to see him, is he still a wanker? Yes. Okay, so if I'm dedicating this to anybody who's ever fallen in love or experienced love, which I'm hoping is everybody. I think I might be falling in love again at the moment, and as I'm doing it, I'm filled with like this, whoa, and also this kind of like, oh my god, and I feel like love is, and more so, more widely, life itself is as tragic as it is beautiful. And if you know suffering and if you know pain, and I know this is every one of you, then you really know beauty. You can't have one. This is a tragedy. The great tragedy and the great blessing is to exist and to know and to get a look. It's a nasturtium flower, and not only is it beautiful, but I can eat it, and it sparkles peppery goodness in my mouth. And look at the green symphony of joy exploding all around me. It's summertime. Also to just have that moment when you're just 4 a.m. and you're like, I'm going to die loneliness. I'm going to die lonely with dementia in my 60s. I'm definitely going to die with dementia and I'm going to die lonely. And I'm worthless. No, I'm a poet. It's a difficult word. Anyway, let's move on. This is a celebration of all of that. It's called Entirely Sensible, and it's a reaction against the idea, long-held idea in physics, that the last poem is talking about, an intelligible cosmos, and I believe that it's not just about data, it's not just the energy passing through matter, it's not just informational, this cosmos is not just about information. What if the electrochemical shimmerings beneath our feet, what if this great pulsation of mycorrhizal intelligence which is seething through the earth, what if this is actually Gaia, what if this is actually the planet having feelings, what if the cosmos is just this great fractal vomit which is existent, this great fractal vomit is really God just feeling, just having feelings, and maybe that's what this whole dance of existence is really about. This poem is called Entirely Sensible, and it goes exactly like this. I feel, therefore I am, chuckling in the babble of spring. I am summer breaking out in laughter, and autumn breaking down with tears. The beckoning arms of the joy seized toddler, yes. The maddening wings of the bird's first flight, yes. The unfurling lips of the tulip sings. I feel, I sing of love. The sapling that sprouts from the moist black shit screams to me of love. The stripping and the gouging of the sunflower by slugs screams again of love. What is there that is being sensed or known that is not being felt? When my dear will this tenderness be realized? Genius, are we not instruments of measure that tremble and sing as a sentient fabric of Gaia convulses with lava seas and weather systems? Are the clouds not the sky feeling the earth? Is the rain not the earth feeling the sky, falling in love with itself? The world teaches itself how to feel as we shudder with love, the tears, the rage, war, carnival, semtex, rave, metabolizing love as vomit as joy, metabolizing hate as withering pain. I feel, therefore I am beloved. Poem, am I you still beloved? Breaking down in brown, beloved, aching for the green. I feel, therefore I am beloved. Poem, am I you still beloved? Breaking down in brown, beloved, aching for the green. The clouds on the sky feeling the earth. Is the rain on the earth feeling the sky, falling in love with itself? The world teaches itself how to feel as we shudder with love, the tears, the rage, war, carnival, semtex, rave, metabolizing hate as vomit as joy, metabolizing love as withering pain. I feel, therefore I am beloved. Poem, am I you still beloved? Breaking down in brown, beloved, aching for the green. I feel, therefore I am beloved. Poem, am I you still beloved? Breaking down in brown, beloved, aching for the green. I feel, I feel, I feel, I feel. she's refusing to marry me. Why would she do
It's not
that?
me that he's talking about when he says he's fallen in love.
Marry him!
Marry
him!
There's many other people for Pete.
That's why I moved on. I think there might be someone else in it, but we'll see where it goes. That song we've recorded as the opening song of an album called Garden of Madness. And we're very, very proud of it. And very soon it's going to come out as a single. If you do nothing else after tonight, please go onto Spotify and subscribe to Pete the Temp. And you will get that single when it comes out, and then another one, and then another one, and then a full album. And we recorded it with a synth player, synth and keys. It's taken us about 2 years to make. We're very, very proud of it. We'll be doing a big launch in Bristol, hopefully in February or March, with a big 40-piece choir helping us out. It's a really exciting event. In fact, you may even want to come to Bristol for this.
When is
We're
it?
going to mini bus together. When is it? What? February or March time. I've got an email list somewhere. I think I've left it over there on the table. I'll get it in a minute, and I'll pass that around, and I can stay in touch with you and stuff like that. In the meantime, I'm going to do another poem. This is called Languaging. We were talking about theories of the universe. So another way of looking at existence is as a linguistic process. It's a very ancient theological idea across many, many different religious systems. The idea, the divine word, they call it in Christianity. The idea, the Sufis once said, I think it was Hazrat Inayat Khan said that the only holy book is the book of nature. The only holy book is the book of nature. Emerson once said that a garden is a mute gospel. A garden is a mute gospel. This idea that nature is speaking in a language that we can't hear. Everything is the unfoldment, the transmission, the modulation, and the singing out of information and wisdom. The universe thinking itself into being, expressing it, languaging itself in all the many different ways, be that the algorithms or your DNA or the weather systems or the roiling tectonic plates beneath our feet. This poem is called Languaging. We are the dancing thoughts of God, and the gods are dancing thoughts. We are the dancing thoughts of God, and the gods are dancing thoughts. All is performing knowledge, all is wisdom speaking itself. In its ceaseless compulsion to transmit and transform, all is data furnished, all is languaging itself. Literature the green, fountain of spring, literature the sky, that convulses with thinking, ink falls from the sky, poems sprout from the earth, thoughts buzz through the grasses, dart through the trees. I am the universe muttering, the syntax of flesh, the grammar of genetics, and the vowels of water and blood and song, song, song. You are the universe muttering, the syntax of flesh, the grammar of genetics, and the vowels of water and blood and song, song, song. My dear friends, we are the dancing thoughts of God, the gods of dancing thoughts. We are dancing thoughts of God, and the gods of dancing thoughts. And as forests dissolve and tectonic plates sink back into the earth, so God thinks. And as seas are conditioned, the skies are turned, and the animate green dances and dies, so God speaks. The algorithms of DNA languaging, the copulating mammals languaging, the seeming metropolis languaging, the thermal swirl of airborne particles languaging the oceans, turning the surging vengeance of a climate with something to say. Amen! See the world in chain reaction, in endless iterative streams. I am that stream I'm pouring. I am that stream. See the world in chain reaction, in endless iterative stream. You are that stream I'm pouring. You are that stream. We are the dancing thoughts of God, gods of dancing thoughts. We are the dancing thoughts of God, gods of dancing thoughts. Thank you. I want to just take this opportunity, this privilege of being in front of a microphone, to thank Dhyano for all the work he's done in service of poetry and beauty and art and creating moments of collective empathy and creativity and spontaneity and play. And this is a service indeed that's very rewarding. This is a fireside tradition, right? This is a fireside tradition, and Dhyano is very adept at lighting that fire, that birthright, that ancient birthright. So this show that we're doing here is an excerpt from a larger stage show about an hour and a half long called Garden of Madness. And the Garden of Madness is about mental health. One of the main themes is about mental health, and it's about mental health, not mental ill health. When we talk about mental health, for me that means the ancient fireside tradition of a hunter-gatherer species, which is either hunting or gathering, and that means constant reciprocity. That means walking around in groups and singing and laughing and then coming together to a fire at the end of each night, and sitting in a circle and exchanging stories and poems and songs, and expressing themselves, and singing together, chanting together, waving their, joining cults, and stamping their feet, stamping their souls into the generous brown earth beneath them, stamping it out, crying it out, having it out, and then going to bed. And one of the great tragedies of the loneliness epidemic is that we've all been taken away from a birthright of our daily fire, that fire right at the focus, right at the heart of every community for 99.999% of human history. And I know you remember it, even if you haven't been to a fire. I know that you remember that, and I know that you listen. And in our own small way, that is the purpose of this show, is to light that fire again. This is me and Emmy trying to work out what the fuck's happening. I don't think anybody noticed that we got slightly confused.
Just get married.
We're going to get married. We're married each other. I feel pressured now. We're not married. We don't want to be married. Anyway,
Being in a band together is enough.
We're being proposed.
she really doesn't need any more voice notes from me. She really doesn't need it.
We're doing something to look out.
This is called Something You Might Want to Look Out For, and it's from my new book called Garden of Madness, which came out very recently. Look, I've got a new book. Woo! And look, it's my brain. It's like my brain, which is also a mushroom. It was described by Tom Hirons as word havens of praise poetry and the murky underbelly of the human mind. So if you like this, then you'll enjoy this. If you like my words, maybe you'll want to get a copy of this. Just to let me know if I want to support the arts, I mean, see whatever I may not do. I don't really care. It only costs £10, the signed copy, and I take cards, and anyway. Something you might want to look out for. This is dedicated to everybody. This is dedicated to everybody. Me as much as I'm talking about myself as much as everybody else. I'm being seduced into a matrix that is tearing me from the nurturing fabric of life. I'm beguiled by the greed of ego and success, bedeviled by envy and addicted to getting. The creatures of darkness are harvesting my vital energies. I stare at the corrupted mirror of vanity, scrolling through its endless feeds, like an indoctrination to some sort of bad ministry. I've forgotten the rituals and traditions that bind me to that which is bigger than me. I turned away from the divine light I carry inside, seeking it in the glow of nefarious devices. Save yourself. Save your children. The abundance of the universe infuses and envelops you, flourishes all about you. You are an emanation of the all that is. Find its connective tissues in your thoughts and your feelings. Worship the divine matrix of endless providence, the great creator, aka the sprawling intelligence of the biosphere, aka the enfleshment of divine imagination, aka the atomic symphony of celestial joy, loves you and is waiting to receive you. So dance, sing, wear a frock, wave your hands in the air, build a temple in the shape of a mushroom, make an altar out of a giant bed. Dance in circles, breathe in circles, make love until you collapse. Adopt a bunch of rituals to remind yourself that you are part of something bigger. An elaborate conflagration of bacteria, a vessel of celestial fire, a risen phoenix of atomic dust, masked up with two-dimensional thumbnail images in a vain effort not to sink back into eternity. 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 My dear, brilliant failure. My dear paragliding death wish of fate's capricious winds. You are a glimmering reliquary of our dreams, an indispensable pulse of the psyche. So sort your shit out and love yourself better. You're here on behalf of us all. Thank you. called Carousel of Samsara, and I wrote it while I was in a Buddhist monastery in Thailand, and trying not to go mad and failing and just be like, oh my god, it's that thing again. Sit with that. And you weren't allowed, it was a bit passive, it was a silent meditation retreat, you weren't allowed to write anything down. So I just had this idea of like, okay, yeah, it's like this idea of this metaphor of like samsara being like a carousel. A carousel, of course, is the merry-go-round with the horses, so you get fairs, right? And samsara is the endless wheel of suffering, which is intrinsic to the human experience. The wheel of suffering, so you have an intrusive thought, right? And every time you think of it, then it energizes it and it goes round again. You're like a hamster wheel, right? It might be an addiction, it might be an ex-lover, it might be that thing which keeps you awake at 4 a.m. Samsara, this is part of the human condition. So this is called the carousel of samsara. Welcome to the carousel of samsara, where every horse is a wide-eyed grimace, beckoning you towards a vomitous nostalgia of spiraling circus organs. You try to turn your attention away, and every time you look back, the electricity snaps on. Lights, camera, whoa. Behold, the pole dancing horses of the apocalypse, straddled with evil clowns. All purport to be your friend. Greed, jealousy, lust, revenge. They cycle inside your head, they cycle inside your head. They cycle inside your head, they cycle inside your head. An anonymous and alluring younger woman. They cycle inside, they cycle inside, they cycle inside your ex-lover. They cycle inside, they cycle inside, they cycle inside someone resembling your mother. They cycle inside your mother. They cycle inside, they cycle inside, they cycle inside your weed dealer. They cycle inside your bartender. They cycle inside a pouch of tobacco that can smile and wave. Smile and wave. Inside your brain, they cycle inside your brain. Cycle inside your brain, your brain, they cycle inside your brain. Who are these people? Where did they come from? Well, you escaped before you were dead. You were dead, you were dead, you were dead, you were dead. Who are these people? Where did they come from? They live inside your head, your head, your head. Inside your head. Inside your head. Cycle inside your brain, they cycle inside your brain. They cycle inside your head, they cycle inside your brain. The deranged and ill-informed parents pushing on a merry-go-round. Push harder, 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 push harder. Thank you.
I really want to celebrate, I really want to drop in to say, I really appreciate the positive connection we're sharing right now. Really appreciate dropping into a moment of clarity right now. Really to celebrate this moment of connection and authenticity between us. I really want to gift you my offering of coming to my consciously co-created container. Where I will hold space and I will cleanse space. And I will speak into the space. What does that mean? What does that actually mean?
Spiritual.
The invitation now is for me to make you an invitation to invite me to tell you. What does that mean? Well, it doesn't mean fucking anything at all. But it does make me sound like a Silicon Valley hipster who's just discovered what a mushroom is.
Mycelium, it's underneath the ground. It connects everything, isn't it profound? Mycelium, it's very underground. I'll tell you all about it for £5,000. There was one other we were going to do, wasn't it? How are we doing for time? We've got time for 3 more. That will take about 15 minutes. What time is it now? 10 o'clock already. Okay, so 3 more is going to take us to 10:15, and then we'll just check in. Is that... People got to get off? People happy for that?
Do it. D4. D5.
No, we'll do 3. We want time to good chat, make friends. That's also really important.
Voice inside. How are you? Post.
How are you?
How
are you? Just do how are you, and then the other 2. You know where we're going? Great. It's because how are you? And this is a response to that really difficult question when somebody says how are you, and it's like I don't really know quite how to, like, how long have you got? And in one what in like now, in like today, generally in life, I don't really know how to assess my life, like economically, my heart, like sometimes I'm like, oh my god, that happens like 70 times within a single day. Like, do you really want to know? We're in Aldi. Do you know what I mean? Like, I hardly know you. How are you? 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 Please distill your entire biopsychosocial being into a discrete time period and an appropriately optimistic verbal response. You will probably want to present yourself as a leisured, socially engaged and economically functional member of a community. But please remember that we are living through a mental health epidemic. So if you have an active sex life and have a pervading sense of love, contentment and purpose, please fuck off back to topless. If, like everybody else, you are vacillating between the precipice of worthlessness and the fleeting relief of pharmaceuticals, please also remember that we are stood in the frozen food section of Aldi. You and I both know that I don't actually care how you are. So let's just slip back into our post-Victorian emotionally repressed facades, and you can say something like, yeah, can't complain. Bit busy, but enjoying the sunshine. And I can recoil inside like a mad and shivering golem. You sound like a morning TV host pretending to be friends with that twat that does the travel updates. How do you expect this relationship to develop when you're not prepared to reach into your chest and pull out your heart to watch it bleed a not insignificant trip hazard next to the vegetarian burger section? Stop being pointless.
little shivering godheads in mortal clothes, just about to be thrown back onto the recycling heap. How are you? How are you? How are you going to evolve consciousness? How are you going to forward the march of human progress? How are you going to deal with the imminent social, ecological, and economic collapse? Never mind the colonization of our psyche by surveillance capitalism. Can't complain! Can't complain! Ooh! Ooh! It's a descent into neo-fascism! Never mind, it's Mr. Sunshiny busy! And he's looking for a meat-free alternative to his barbecue! But I can tell you don't even want to be here when the way your feet are pointing to the adjacent deli counter! But I can see that you care more about pecorino cheese than you do about my gaping loneliness, despite the fact that I am being kind enough to ask how you are. So please, stop refusing to complain and fuck off back to your sunshine to get busy! Anyway, I'm fine, thanks. Thank you.
Whoa! Hello! Hi everyone! Hi! Do you know who I am?
Richard.
My name is I'm Pete the Temp's inner child. Has anybody else got an inner child here? Make some noise if you've got an inner child! I have been stuck inside a body of an adult all this time. You have no idea. God, he's such a twat. Phenomenologically speaking. He only uses long words because he wants to be loved.
Oh.
No, don't. Well, let me tell you something. Mr. Peterman, he may have lots of long words, but I'm more betterer. Do you want me to tell you a story?
Yeah.
When we were 4, we decided, or rather, I decided, that we didn't want to be called Mr. Peterman any longer. We were to have a new name. We were to be known forthwith, henceforth, and we're forever in perpetuity as Richard. It lasted well for about 10 days, although it did cause some embarrassment for my mother. This is Tim, this is Ian, and this is Peter. To which I would reply, no I'm not, I'm Richard. And then after 10 days, they persuaded Mr. Peterman to become Mr. Peterman again. You asked for Mr. Peterman, they didn't ask for me. That's better for you. I don't get out much. Do you have anything? Makes me feel so powerful. Again. Should we do a pitch shift in the middle? That interpretive art, wasn't it? I love this. It's so about do this in public places for no reason at all. You get a bunch of people and go everywhere. You're like, we're going to do some R-ing. I think this might be some of my best material. This is the first audience. You're the R. You're the sacred R. You'll be known as that. The cult in the centre were art. For 30 long years. I have watched Mr. Peterman pretend to be an adult. Sometimes Mr. Peterman wants to play the grown-up game, and I'll play. But if Mr. Peterman wants to play the grown-up game all of the time, I grow angry. I arrive and I double Mr. Peterman, for I am Richard and I am more powerful. For 30 long years I have lain a forgotten and misunderstood shadow creature of Mr. Peterman's deep psyche. They called me silly. They called me emotional. They called me madness. They called me art. Well, Mr. Peterman, thou art that. Thou Might be a health and safety risk, I've no idea. This became apparent to Mr. Peterman when, once upon a lonely winter's eve, in the year of our Lord, 2016, whilst recording an album in a basement in Berlin, Mr. Peterman happened upon a button on his machine, and out I flew! To make Mr. Peterman free. Time has taken me hostage. Skin shrivels is around my head. But I am still me, forever living, forever living until I'm although I'm only 4 years old, I am old and I am wise. is then through mine. I am the pure white consciousness. Inside of I am the you inside of me, and the me
This is indeed a celebration of life and a fitting ending to a beautiful tour. I'd like to take this moment to thank Tom's Stockley T.S. Idiot for accompanying us and co-producing this tour. Absolute pleasure to work with us from beginning to end. A big, huge, loving round of applause for Emmy the Harp, who was talented, and versatile. Although she still refuses to marry me. So I'm fair game, I'm a single man, and my hand in marriage is right here. Or you can have my book. This is my book, and if you would like to support the writing of new books into the future and new shows, this is a great way to do it, and also to have a book which I think you might enjoy. It's inspired by mystical poetic traditions, be they Sufi, Christian, Hindu, Tantric, Buddhist, Taoist, about 3 or 4 or 5 years worth of research into various different poetic traditions, looking at the mysteries of the universe, filtered through my rather absurd life and sense of humour. So it's called Garden of Madness, and if you'd like a copy, they cost £10. I'll be doing signed copies just over there. I also have another book here, which is my last book, and it's called Stage Invasion. And it was described by Ian McMillan of Radio 6 as the book we've all been waiting for. And it's a book about the science, the art, and the history of live verbal performance, the oral tradition, the fireside tradition, how human beings work when they get together and they do performances just like this. So if you're into communities, artistic communities, if you're into language, and if you're into change, I guarantee you will find something to love in this book. It's a non-fiction book, it's very accessibly written, and if you get the two of them together, you can have them for £17.50, 17.5 English pounds. And yes, thank you for being a lovely audience. This has been a beautiful confluence, a historical moment of hearts and minds and people. A big, huge round of applause, and thank you for Dhyano and the team, Max here, the venue, this wonderful event, taking the risks that they are taking in the service of beauty, in the service of human connection. Long may your work continue, Dhyano. It's been a real pleasure to come down here. What a beautiful gift. From this beautiful towers down and all the waves in front of me. Wow. You see why so many artists come here and end up in cellars, joining cults and being weird. I want to go home. No. This is our final song, and it's called, well, I'm not going to, it doesn't really have a name. It's from the 13th century, which is a much neglected century of history. This is a loop station, by the way. In case you're wondering what this is, the way this works is it samples my voice live and then it plays it back in the loop. It loops my voice around and around it. Oh, no, this is not the best chance to give this a demonstration.
It loops my voice around and around, 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 it loops my voice around and around. You get the idea. I also do effects on this. I can like speak bass, if you know, I've got like effects I can put through my voice. Come into my cellar and join my cult. For example.
Nervous laugh.
The door's now locked.
Solidatum dominas, clemens exultas concilium, credo, 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 Okay, people, would you like me to rap in Latin? Come on tonight, this is our last night, need a more emphatic answer. Would you like me to rap?